the Sacleapea city area. We are driving towards the Sacleapea City Comprehensive Health Center, or the Sacleapea City Comprehensive Health Center, where we are driving towards that area. And once we pass that area, the next area we'll be going will be now the Nimba town, but it's in the Sacleapea City zone limit, so all can refer to it the Nimba community. But again, it's still like a town on the hill. It has a town chief where they have some norms or traditions, but that's not what we actually had for it's for the road project. And this particular aspect you are seeing here was clearly was once done, but again, because of some bureaucracy, government bureaucracy, again, the pavement, actual pavement couldn't reach here. It brought some delays. That's why you are seeing some drainages or some waters with water set in. That's why you might be experiencing some to where we are right ahead of us. We're talking is the Sacleapea Comprehensive Health Center. They are now carrying on surgery. They have assigned doctor. 3 medical doctors are assigned here. They are carrying on surgery, except for a major surgery or general surgery that can be performed here. At the only time they will do referral, and that referral is either at the Eastern and Journey Hospital that people normally refer to, or that is popularly known as ENJ, or the Ganta United Methodist Hospital in Ganta. And like you see ahead of us, we will get there, we will talk about it. Was one of the major areas that intervention was done. It was actually bad, and due to insecurity, there was a detour that was created by motorcyclists and vehicles right ahead of us. Something like you are seeing, it's almost like climbing the hill. That place was actually bad, and the intervention was done when the tour was being taken with the remains of the Mr. Junction.
I was here.
Yeah, because of it. And this was the detour right now, right? But because of the intervention at the time that was made, because of the tour of Mr. Junction remains, so this place, the intervention was made on this particular road. But just in the heart of this town or the city, it had that critical spot, and vehicles used to get stuck in that particular area. And after a year, most of the areas you see, even though it's still normally like we refer to it as Dusty Road in Liberia, but some interventions were made. Yeah, some interventions were made to some critical spots. So unlike what we used to see before, we might not be seeing them. We might not be seeing them, but again, the government is doing everything possible. Some I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, like we said, the past president said that the government has made some interventions, placed that in the budget, but $3.2 million was provided to a company that is constructing this road. That's Sico. That's Chinese company Sico, and so the amount was given to them. That's how we saw the resumption of this particular road. And so the road has resumed. And they are making some straps. They are making some straps where we have critical spots. They want to ensure that people have free access to movement, especially when the rain intensifies. But we are yet to actually speak to them to get full detail whether we will see maybe some upper pavement before the rain can intensify. But if we can see that, but if we can make some intervention and the road is pliable, I think on passports. For example, where we are going down, where we are descending this hill, anyone who has traveled on muddy roads when you see this is a special boat level, right, you know that the deposit of mud that was here was very huge. The guys came, they have to clear them away, place in the side. That makes the crush right up and place it among the mud that was here. So you see that the vehicles are not flying freely. But again, this is not what I know a lot of people might be anticipating to hear or to see. But again, at least the movement has or some, they have some access now of movement. It just remains for the alpha pavement. When the contractors have resumed work, we know that things will be okay, and alpha pavement might come here, but at least they are doing their best. They are trying for what we are seeing. The climate is here again. A lot of vehicles, motorcyclists used to get stuck here. I can remember when the county superintendent and I were going to Sacleapea at the time for World Mental Day Health Celebration. We have to stay for some time because of vehicles that were stuck here. But it was a Land Cruiser Jeep that we were using, so we have to make our way somehow and get out. But interventions have been made. You are seeing the cross racks are placed here. It shows that people can move freely. It's just down the doors, and we are trying to get away with it to ensure that alpha people can be here. But the government too is making some straps.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are a lot of government priorities, competing priorities. But once they can manage at least $3.2 million to secure it for this project to start, it shows that the government have this, open their mind. Because again, they have to make some intervention, to chip in, make make good their own commitment from the road that we are just coming from, the Tabeta, Sacleapea road. The government have to make some commitment. They have to put in some funding to where their partner, the World Bank, to is putting in some funding. So all of these areas, you will see that the government will always be chipping in to ensure that the particular project is completed. And we are ahead of us. You can see now the yellow machines are back to where some are actively working to make sure that they meet up with their commitment or their promises to their citizens, that they will be having access to a good.
And now the actual works are ongoing.
Yes, the actual works have started now. Like you can see on the right and even on the left, clearings are done, and then the guys are making sure that most of those their soil can be placed over it and compacted very well before another phase of it can be done. So you just saw a full 8-tire truck with dyke, and this dyke will be dumped. When the dyke is dumped, it will be compacted very well, and when it's compacted, before now another layer of the soil will be mixed with other rats and placed there.
Alright. So as the dirt is being compiled, they're also making some interventions on making sure they can enlarging the road itself. I mean, I see they're taking it very far, and the clay looks like clay. It looks very soft. I'm sure they're going to work on it and put some rocks and increase the height, build it up a little bit, because this particular spot is somewhere that I know that cars never used to forget to get stuck. Definitely.
Anthony, the reason you are seeing the clay is because of continuous spraying they have been doing. Prior to this government coming in, the past government, they were also working on it. But for every time yellow machines will come and it just created, and so they are very greedy. They are reached at the point now that what we are seeing is play. So the only thing that this particular engineering now is at least just do low clearing and then bring some. They do some backfilling with dyed mixed up with those ladder racks and place it over and compile it very well. Where now the laterals will come, and then we see the upper pavement taking place. So that's how we are seeing. But you are seeing every second to this particular spot. And they are very enlarging from left and right. Also, the clearings that is done will also give way for the road to be dry. You know, they are open just because once you do the clearing, the road side of it is clear, is receiving that sunlight. Will also make the road be dry. Then the work will be done perfectly.
Definitely. Yeah, you can just hold that mic for me, and then let me bring those who are just joining us, who are watching, who have just joined us. Let me just bring them up to speed about, you know, a little about this road project, just so they understand, you know, some smaller details that might be required about this project. In fact, but come to think of it, this is the Ganta to Sacleapea road project, and it's a very critical infrastructure initiative that actually aims at enhancing regional connectivity and facilitating economic development.
Okay.
Now, this particular project, like you said, is being fully funded by the government of Liberia through the National Road Fund. Yes, this project is being funded through the National Road Fund. And it commenced sometimes in 2020, in December, in 2020. And the actual estimated allocated budget at the time was approximately around 36.4 million US dollars. Yes, and as of 2025, early 2025 this year, about 53% of this particular road, and this stretch is a 39-kilometer stretch, yes, was completed. That's 53% of this 39-kilometer stretch is completed. Now, with 20 kilometers paved, so the portion that we're about to go on, there is a 20-kilometer portion of this road that's already been paved, and there's also an asphalt binder, and it's 16 kilometers with asphalt wearing posts. So there are some places where they just put the first layer, the focus racks, you know, they've not done actual pavement there. But despite the progress on this particular road, this project has faced some significant challenges. In 2023, work came to a halt due to delayed funding disbursement. Yeah, leaving the contractor, which was China International Construction Company, SICO, which it still is, with outstanding payments reportedly at about $4 million at the time in 2023. And that was one of the reasons why the project was brought to a standstill. Like I said, there are some reasons why this project is still like the way it's looking, because it started since 2020, you know, in December, and why. But I mean, slow funding and other things, you know, were some of the reasons why this project has been delayed. Additionally, the road conditions deteriorated due to the rainy season, of course. Obviously, the rainy season also contributed, causing severe transportation disruption, and they were also prompting public outcry. I remember on the media, you know, in the media, this particular road project was one of the projects that was being talked about.
Even lots of Fred also reported about it, where travelers were stopped reporting on government to make conventions, like that.
Yeah, definitely. And so and so in response to some of these setbacks, the government now allocated approximately $3.5 million to SICO. This current government now allocated approximately $3.5 million to SICO to resume this particular construction, which they are currently now doing. So the efforts are now, you know, already on the way to complete this road, at least by next dry season, because we are already in the rainy season. So basically, I mean, this is it. I mean, this road, obviously, like we said, this was just the beginning of part of the larger long corridor that heads to Maryland. So it starts from Ganta, goes through to Tapita, and moves on to Zwedru. You know, starts from Ganta, comes out to Sacleapea, goes to Tapita, and moves on to Zwedru, and eventually to Fishtown River G. The upper portion is already paved.
So you know, Anthony, like you are saying, sometimes when international partners want to help government, they want to see how serious the government is, what level of contribution, you know, you have been making in your own area, how you think you can put about it. So I'm told that when the government engaged the World Bank at the time, they decided that the government should underwrite the cost of this particular stretch of the road from Sacleapea to Ganta, do it for themselves. Then they now can join with them to take it from Sacleapea to Tapeta. So like you just outlined, there was some delay.
Yeah, some hurdles.
Yeah,
rainy season, slow disbursement of funding.
And when contractors start on road, or especially when yellow machines pass on road, where it is not completed when the rainy season comes, it do a lot of damages.
Sure.
Because the area that the yellow machines will pass, they might leave some marks that were not closed all together, and so waters may set in there, and then it create damages on the road. So these are some of the things that happened. But at least thank God now that, for example, what you are seeing, in our right here, some clearings have been done. The 3.5, approximately like you said, 3.5. It will make the Chinese company to carry on some improvement, some massive improvement.
These were people that were owed $4 million already, so getting 3.5. I mean, it's just to but there is active work ongoing actually on the road, like you said, Daniel. And then another thing I want to, like I said, there is 20% pavement of this road.
Yeah.
Out of the 53-point-something% that is completed, it's only 20% of it that has been paved.
Yeah, with asphalt.
The rest of it, I mean, there's cross rocks, and they've just put the first few layers on it. Yeah, so we're going to drive on there. For those of you who like to see pavement, please stick and stay with us. Keep watching this video. Very soon we'll be on that 20% of pavement, and that 20% of paved, the paved 20% portion extends into Ganta city itself. And then there are some cuts within between. There are some portions that are, some cuts within between.
Yeah.
And that's because of the way the road is designed. Some portions they are building bridges, so they have to cut, they have to do a whole different connection.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's been worked on this corridor.
And like you were talking, just this particular area we are passing was also a huge mud deposit, but now the SECO have made some intervention. They have done some side clearings, remove some of the mud, and also lay some drainages where water will not be setting down, or rather when rain falls, water will freely flow. They will slide out and freely flow, and allow the area to remain dry. And these are some of the intervention right before us here.
These rocks.
Yeah, cross rocks were placed here too as well. We are almost now in Kanwi town.
Okay. Yeah, Kanwi town. I can see we're already here. Seeing some of the buildings on the side. So, and then come to think of it, this stretch of the road has the high tension cables crossing, and once this portion is completed, having street lights will not be an issue. The electricity is already along the road, in my mind, from what I'm looking at.
Yes, the high tension lines that you are seeing passing is coming from the border of Aricos.
Yeah, that's the CRSG stuff, right?
Yeah, this particular one is managed by Jungle Energy Power.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it's going to Sacleapea and also heading to Ban. This one is coming from La Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah, so Jungle Power is just a distributor of the power.
Yes.
But this is the CRSG project kind of electricity cables. It's between Côte d'Ivoire, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, and Guinea also.
Yes, like I was saying there, but for this particular one, that's the first agreement the government of Liberia entered into with Aricos directly. That was managed by LEC. That's the Liberia Legislative Corporation.
Yes,
but after a while, it was almost like they use free. The government even have to go into a huge debt with our very counterpart, but then they decided now to outsource it where somebody will be a distributor, and that project was won by Jungle Energy. At the time, it was Jungle Water and Energy Venture from Ghana, where they both companies have to combine. They call them Jungle Energy, power. Where now it's been managed by businessman Thomas Flood.
All right, great.
Yeah.
So, like we've said, folks, for those of you who are so interested in wanting to see where the pavement have started from, I think we're here in this town.
Yeah, this is Kanwi.
Yeah, so this is Kanwi town. Once we pass Ganway, we go further. We might be seeing some little pavements, or it's still a little further ahead as we move on. Like we said, 53% of this road have been completed in terms of clearing works, earthworks, you know, and a lot of the portions that we're talking about is coming from the Ganta end, and not from the Sacleapea end. So as we drive on, eventually we'll show you some of the pavement works that have been done coming from the Ganta end. And then also from the Ganta end, it's not only done, when we said 20% completed, of the 53% completed, this includes marking of the roads, this includes street signs, you know, and all of that, drainages, and think of everything. So that particular portion has already been worked on, and 20% of it has been paved. 53%, the balance, I think 47% or whatever, is going towards the Sacleapea end. So that's a lot of work, but again, the contractors are back on the road. If the contractors have been back on the road, the contractors are on the road now, and they are doing tremendously well to make sure they can do a significant portion before the rainy season can come.
And like you were just talking about, 20% have been completed. It also, like you talk about laying of drainages, it also even include the
bridges,
the rehabilitation of bridges, or construction of new bridges along the road.
You're right, Daniel, you're right. There's construction of new bridges also, but again, there's also rehabilitation of other bridges. You have to reinforce the concrete on some bridges just to make them functional. It's also part of the agreement also.
The reinforcement of bridge, you will see the Yard Road Bridge. Some portion of it were reinforced as part of this of the under 53 of the 8%.
The 53%.
The 3%, and it's also like we talk about the 20% as well completed. So 58% of the 3% of that completed one also include the reinforcement of the Yard Bridge.
Okay, so let's drive on, guys. Let's drive on. Very soon we'll get to some reasonable portion of this road that has been paved. But all of this portion that we're driving on is just part of the portion of the road that have not been worked on significantly.
Yes, but intervention have been made.
Yes, intervention.
The first intervention was made with clearing around these areas.
Okay, great. So like my colleague is saying, intervention has been made because the road has to be pliable. Come to think of it, economic development here in Liberia. This is a government of Liberia funded project, and this project started sometimes in December of 2020. We're talking like 5 years ago, right?
Yes,
pretty much 4 years and a few months now, sometimes 2020. And at the time, the government of Liberia budgeted approximately 36.4 million. Yes, anticipating 36.4 million for this project. And speaking of works along this road, as you can see, can you slow down a little bit? Speaking of works along this road, you can look there through the window. Lots of materials there. There is dirt piled up. There is also the huge pile of crushed rocks. There's also a huge pile of crushed rocks that are intended for this project. Right over there. So, I mean, once pavement work starts, crushed rocks will obviously not be an issue. One good thing I know about this road construction, like especially here in Liberia, Daniel, we have the materials, we have the resources right on site. I mean, that's one of, we have the resources right on site.
Yeah,
we have the dirt, we have the crushed rocks, and I can say we've got the cement,
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that you'll see, especially when the finance is available, the guys can actually be fast in carrying on their work, because unlike other countries, they have to import these things, but not for Liberia. They will always be lucky to see a deposit of these things. Just go there, place a machine, crush them, and start to use them.
Yes. So like we were saying, this is just basically at the time in 2020 in December, the government was allocating around 36.4 million for this road at the time. And this is a 39-kilometer road. Actually, it's a 39-kilometer stretch. this particular stretch, the one that comes from Ganta to Sacleapea is 39 kilometers. Yes, definitely. And currently, like we said, 20 kilometers paved, 20 kilometers paved of this particular road of asphalt pavement. 16 kilometers with the asphalt wearing, just the cross rock and the first, stuff. So, 53% of the entire road has been completed, worked on, and then out of the entire 39 kilometers, we got 20. So that means we got like 19 left. Got like 19 kilometers left, and I think that's a reasonable distance in my mind. 19 kilometers left, 20 paved already, and then we kept saying 20% paved. So that was a wrong calculation, but basically the actual figure is 20 kilometers of the 39 kilometers have been paved. So we have not gotten on the paved 20 kilometers yet. It's still a little ahead of us. And we've driven from Sacleapea already. Where we got Daniel?
This is Iyasino now.
Yes, we're in Iyasino. Yes, that's where we are. So we're driving towards Ganta. But very soon we will be getting on the
asphalt pavement.
Yes, the asphalt pavement. I agree. The asphalt pavement. Someone says the materials are not free; they buy them. Well, I agree. I didn't say they were free either.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they are available. They're not going out of the country to go get them, import them, or all of that. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, we agree. But like we said, we didn't say they are free.
Yeah, that's not what I meant.
They are available. The resources they are available.
Yeah.
But the materials that are available, like the cross rack, the tight. Even though we know
they might be bought,
they might be bought. They sometimes enter into agreement with family, people who have their land. The area they want to take the tide, and where the cross rack will be, they have to go into agreement with the landowner. All of these things, these are things that can be done, but at least they are available.
And also this bridge you were talking about, is part of the project.
Yeah, this is the Yard Road Bridge.
Yeah.
But when you look on the side,
yes, there is just slow down a little bit. There are huge pillars.
Yeah, when you look on the side, you see a huge pillow.
Yes. Beneath the bridge for the purpose of reconditioning it, right?
Yeah, and reinforcing them.
So they've placed huge pillows, new pillows. If you look on the side, you will see fresh cement on the left side there. Those were meant to reinforce the bridge and to it's also part of the project. And also part of this project, new bridges are meant to be erected. They will be erected along the route.
Yes, this is one of the areas that they are making intervention, especially ahead of us. You saw that clearings have been done to this place. They have to come back and do another clearing where this place will be smooth, then it will be compacted. When it's compacted, they will have to bring in new dike to also do double compartment before they can think about placing
the cross rack for asphalt pavement. And then if we look a little closer on the far left there, as we could zoom in, but you are seeing where those white spots are. Where the white spots are, if you look on the far left, that's where they're doing this. That's where they're getting for the projects. If you're seeing those white spots somewhere on the far left, that's where they're getting sent from. Speaking of the materials being available, I just wanted to show you also that they are not going to town and all of that.
Yeah, this area was or has been one of the challenging areas on this road. It has actually been challenging. I think you can even see from your lens. To those of you who are viewing, you can see from your lens. The road has been like divided into two, one on the left, one on the right, and in the middle they have this still almost fresh mud, like you still see. But again, the guys, the contractors are doing almost everything possible that this area can be pliable when the rain intensifies. And not too long for now, maybe just a few minutes for now, we will be getting
the pavement,
the upper pavement, and from there it will take us through until the Flumpa, where we have a bridge in between, and then get on some maybe dusty road and then or on paved road. Before now we can get on the final pavement or the road right behind the town called Ban. There where we'll get on the final pavement before now going to Ganta.
Alright, so we're still driving on. And then this portion of the road looks very wide.
Yes, intervention was just made recently at this particular area. You even see the drainages that were created because they have noticed over the time that when a drainage system is not created in this place, they will actually give them hard time. The mud can be huge. Yeah. The area can be watery. The mud can also be there. So they just have to create that drainage system.
And this hill has been reduced.
This hill has also been one of the challenging thing for travelers along this route. It came a time that people even have to be riding motorcycle up the hill just to take a detour of the mud that used to be here.
Okay, great. So right ahead of us there, a few blocks away, we will be getting on the paved portion of the road. For those who have just joined us, we'd like to say thanks for joining. Kindly leave your comments in the comment section. Very soon we will be in Ganta. So this is the Ganta to Sacleapea road corridor. And for those of you who are watching, you can have a glance for yourself. Earlier we were on the Tapeta to Sacleapea corridor, which has a significant amount of pavement on it. You drive from just like 20 minutes out of Tapeta, and then you drive for like 1 hour towards Sacleapea. So we're about to make our way on the pavement now. So this is it. This is the previous pavement. Here you are. This is a 20 kilometer of pavement. This is a 20 kilometer of pavement that we are driving on now. And I don't know, should we put in the lens of this camera a little bit? Yes, so here we are on the
this particular area is called for cocoa palm. This is Nimba Rubber Incorporated, famously the cocoa palm rubber plantation. This is where we are passing now, and the alpha pavement I can say almost start from here. That's well along. And the 20 kilometer pavement also that we were talking about, even right here. This is a bridge or about covered that was placed on here, and the guys did the work. This other end are marked. You see the yellow line is in the center, the white left and right. Curve or traffic sounds are all placed ahead of us, as you can see. And this is one of the deep curves along the road. The guys try their possible best, but again the sign will tell you that you have almost a double deep curve that is ahead of us.
Definitely. Someone says while we await the pavement of the balance 19 kilometers, there's need for us to keep working on the dirt portion.
So I think the person
is right. I kept mentioning that there are interventions that have been made to make sure that the road is pliable, and not only just working on ensuring that it's paved, they are making it pliable for folks who are making use of the road.
I don't think the government, especially this particular government, has not set upon it to look at the road. They have made some intervention by placing 3.5 million approximately in the budget, and that has been given to the company Seco that is doing this work. That's what led to them now returning to resume work to make some interventions along the road to make it pliable, to give room to economic activities regional infrastructure and connectivity. It also will give access to health and education, because once the road is pliable, you will see that. Once the road is pliable, you will see that people will now move freely to go to hospital. Even people or patients that may be experiencing major health challenges will also be transferred swiftly. A swift intervention will be made, will be transferred, and then they have to reach to where they are taking them quickly. And then we are talking about bridges right ahead of us here. It's one of the bridges that were constructed as part of the 20-kilometer brand new bridge, as you can see. It's also part of it. And this town that we are just entering, the town is called this is Gedeh town that we just reaching.
So we'll continue from here, like this. Yeah, that's it. Folks, so that's it. We're still here on the paved portion, driving through. Still here on the paved portion, driving through. This is the portion of the road already, and it's obviously it's 20 kilometers. We're still left with 19 to be paved. Forgive us, we're trying to switch our microphones just to make sure we got. Alright, so maintaining like this because actually there are issues with power. So let's go ahead, just.
Yes, you know, it has actually been a long ride.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so most of our equipment now are running out of electricity or current. But we are still on the road. We are now in Flumpa. This is Flumpa town, and you can see the road, the pavement passed through here. We are still heading towards Ganta. We are coming from Sacleapea end, and here to also experience a covet. A covet was placed on here. We are strong guarantee on boarding covet was placed on there, and since this particular road passed through this town, you'll see that there have been some level of improvement. Shops have been opened or enlarged, expanded because of the road work that passed through here. And this place has a market day, and people who used to find it difficult to come from Ganta to attend the market, they can easily come here now. Before, prior to the road passing, people even used to leave from Ganta to come and sleep just to attend market. But these days, people can come easily, attend the market, go back the same day because of the road. You know, they have easy access to this particular road now.
Yeah, and they're bringing their goods and all of that, bringing their goods and services.
Yes,
I mean, the road corridor is okay.
People from around here bring their goods to the market, and then at the end of the day, they have something to battle and return back to their homes.
Yeah. All right, still driving on, guys. For those of you following, thanks for following. You can stay with us.
And ahead of us, we will soon be experiencing a bridge or a bridge in between. It is because of that bridge. That bridge has to be reinforced, or a new bridge has to be constructed. So we will experience this short, split in between there, where we will leave from the upper pavement and get on the ordinary road or the Dara Road. Then from there, we will also get ahead of us. We also get on the upper pavement of the road.
All right. So yes, you are seeing there is a break right in between here. There is a little bridge here that probably has to be reconstructed.
Yes.
Obviously, looks like something that has to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
And so that's why you notice this break is right in between here. For any moment from now, we'll get right back on the pavement. Yeah.
And this bridge that we are talking about is in between, and that's flown by and blown. The town right before us, the town is called Blon. There where we are going now.
All right, so we're driving on, and very soon we'll be at another location. It's just a long piece also here.
Yeah.
And this portion have not been marked. This portion has not been marked.
And we were talking about the improvement in economic activities.
Yeah.
You see that because of this road, there was gas station
Erected, right?
Erected. This particular filling station was erected.
A brand new one there.
A brand new filling station was erected. And
there's another one right here.
Another one here too. Even though this particular guy used to sell fuel here, but it was not up to this level. It was just on a mini boot. But then because of the road condition, people have been buying from him, so he has improved his business. He has now constructed a mini fueling station there, where he's also carrying on his economic activities normally.
Okay. Great job with road connectivity across Liberia, across Nimba County. So as we drive on, we're heading to Ganta itself. This pavement also extends in Ganta. So for those of you watching, kindly share this video, stick and stay with us. It's been a long day, lots of talking, and Daniel?
Yeah,
it's been quite a long day.
Yeah, but at least we have managed to inform Liberians, both home and abroad, about the condition of the road. I know some of them have the fair analysis of how the road condition is now from Tabeta to Sacleapea, again from Sacleapea to Ganta, because sometimes people who have not traveled on this particular road for a very long time, people sometimes mislead them, and sometimes some people to tell them the truth. But at least from what we have done today, they will be having that fair assessment. People who might be afraid to travel because of the bad road condition, can feel free now to travel on this road, just from what they have seen for themselves today.
Yeah. Have a glimpse for yourself. First hand glimpse for yourself. So yes, we're still driving on, guys. Stick and stay with us. Keep following.
We will also, have
experience another break in between.
And from here now, right after this, we'll go ahead. We'll see that there have been some improvement in that deep curve around the South Junction. And the guys are doing tremendous work there. They have constructed a brand new bridge, even though they have not been pliable. But then they are trying to do the connection where the upper pavement will pass in that bridge, and then people in that particular spot, the gas elevated the bridge because the water has been actually disturbing in that particular area during the rainy season. You'll notice that during the rainy season, the water that is coming from the right will always get overflowed there. It will overflow its bank and then come across on the road. People will find it difficult during the rainy season, but the guys are making some intervention to ensure that is not repeated when the upper pavement is completed. It's completed.
So this is quite a long stretch of dust.
This town is called Kuapa.
Okay.
We are passing on in Kwaba, and this is one of the bigger towns along the road from here. The next place when we get on the upper pavement will be from Ban. Next will be Tonglewi, that he has almost been added to that.
You mean Tonglewi?
Yeah, Tonglewi.
Tonglewi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been there.
Yeah. The Tonglewi now is almost like a community. In fact, it has been considered now as a community in Ganta, because the last, I can remember, the last community league that was played in Ganta, Tonglewi participated as well as one of the communities in Ganta.
Yeah.
And then they just passed the rainy season. This particular stretch of the road was also challenging. It was actually challenging. But you'll notice that when we reach ahead of us on the left, there's also a deposit of crushed rock. The rocks are being crushed. It's packed there. The guys are intending that once they do everything, they will start to use that particular crushed rock to make the road pliable, where they will use it for the upper pavement.
That's great. That's great. So we still move on. 19 kilometers of this road has not been completed. I don't know if this part in between are part of the remaining 19 kilometers. I want to believe.
Sure.
Because 20 has already been paved. It's obvious that it can be just that portion that we drove on. That's less than 20 kilometers.
The 20 is also including from
the portion that goes to Ganta
from Bando to Ganta. So the 20 is also inclusive of that. And this is the crush road I was talking about. It is intended to be used on this particular road.
Sure. It's a crush road meant for the road project.
Yes. And this area was one of the critical area. It was serving as a major impediment for travelers along this road.
I know, it still looks very dangerous.
People used to
some intervention has been made to place rocks.
People used to take an hour just in between here, just for this short area.
To get to Ganta.
Yeah, to get. I'm not just talking about.
Just an hour to get off the mud.
Yeah, to get off the mud, because it was a long field of vehicle. You know, field of vehicle. Used to get stuck here, trucks and all.
Taking hours before you get out.
Taking hours, and sometimes the Chinese engineers will have to bring their heavy equipment to start to pull up some cars from in the mud.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to come to start to clear the mud off before some cars can even make it. So it was actually challenging in between here.
Yes, that's very huge. And massive intervention has been made. The rains are coming again, actually. And once the rainy season starts, if the project doesn't come this far, we expect to see we expect obviously to see this road looking very deplorable with what I'm looking at.
Sure, but I know the guys are making some intervention. You can see on the left or on the right, at least they have made some clearance, and once they are completed, but they are done with. They walk in the curve there. They will start to extend on the side. That's what I'm seeing.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, because we can see a very brand, new mark, or yellow machine. Some blades. They just rub some blades here on the road.
Yeah.
To clear out some of the moss that are been here. And this place, Anthony, you can remember, it was actually dusted during the parade of the remains of Senator Johnson.
Just say during the heat of the dry season.
Sure, cars were not seeing each other.
Yeah, this place was extremely dusty, like in the Middle East.
Some interventions were made when the remains of the senator was coming, and the vice president had to hire the yellow machine for some interventions to be made. But again, it was actually dusty. It was not easy. It was actually dusty.
Imagine I sat on top of the car, you know the albino, how they look be?
Yeah.
I was eventually looking like one albino.
No, I fell for you. I actually fell for you because it was not, you know, an easy journey.
Yeah.
Riding over the car. The first place I met you was in Sacleapea.
Yeah.
And when you were entering, you were on top of the car, and then from there on to Ganta, from Ganta Sanicole, play back to Ganta, and then from there, passing through Sacleapea, going to Ban, back to Sacleapea, and then now to Ganta. When I saw you, no, I actually fell for you. Yeah, seriously.
But that was the assignment, though. That was the instruction. The assignment was we are capturing key cities across the country as we drive on, especially from Montreal. And we started from as far as Strakoff Funeral Home up to Sacleapea and other places.
And like we were talking about interventions, I think you are saying the yellow machines. We passed by it this morning. They were making some rounds, or they were making some clearance while compactors were there. They were compacting some areas. You are also seeing the trucks. Of recent, that particular place has just been getting overcrowded by young men and women from Ganta. Every Saturday and Sunday, especially on Sunday, that area will actually be overcrowded. Over 500, in fact, over thousands of human beings will be stopped back in that area just to drink palm wine and eat the fresh raw meat and drink, just enjoy themselves.
Yeah, but that's part of tourism. The people would enjoy, I mean, the road is available. You have the ability to drive in time, go and come, get them by. It's convenient, So, I mean, that's one of the things. Who say I want to come on Murray and can't Ganta and can't dream about or I can buy it. You understand?
Yeah,
and that's what road connectivity does.
The power is just a pure natural power. Yeah, but the 20 kilometers, like we said, have been paved. Include everything.
Sure.
Yeah, include everything. That just few portion is remaining for it to be marked. But like, and this is the area I was talking about.
Yeah, I know. This is nice.
Yeah, this particular area. You see, they have started to even construct new booths.
The population is growing anyway.
Population is growing, and people have always said this population is actually increasing.
This pavement have been there for quite a while now. Since the reinforcement of the project, we will be seeing new pavements beginning from the Sacleapea end very soon. Since the project has been reinforced, the government, like we said, have given the contractors up to $3.5 million now and of course, yes, the works have started and the contractors are effectively doing well as we move on.
And prior to this pavement of the road, just from Ganta to this particular town, people sometimes used to pay $250, sometimes $300 because of the bad road condition.
And speaking of price also, let's talk about what it will cost you from Ganta to Sacleapea eventually, or back then, and then now, or eventually before the road gets completed.
Back then, when the road is actually in I'm not sure I say the worst deplorable condition, people might sometimes charge you $1,000 And again, when the price of fuel increases, people sometimes used to charge them $1,500. But this time around, it's $500.
Okay.
Yeah, $500.
So right now, because of the condition of the road, you can pay like $500 LD.
Yeah, $500 LD.
And go from Ganta to Sacleapea.
Yeah, when you are alone.
I agree.
Yeah, but then when
let's assume 2 on the bike.
Yeah, when you are 2 on the bike, maximum will be 400. Maybe 400 like that. Sometimes when other people appeal, sometimes they will agree on 300 to carry 2 persons.
And then the taxi or something is also lesser.
Yeah, in taxi is 500.
Wow.
Normally, that's the way they will charge you. And you see people even not living from the heart of the town. They have bought land here. So people want to or build, gas station, mini gas station like that. And this area, I think you can see from the sidewalk, it was actually bad. People, you have to take a detour, pass all the way up here, and then get down before going. But the road is okay now. People are freely moving. People are freely moving. This is right ahead of us. There's a town called Tonglewi, like I said.
Yeah,
Tonglewi is now part of Ganta. You see people are constructing new buildings all across inside, in the right on the side. People are all bought land now, and this is just now considered as one of the communities in Ganta.
Okay.
But unlike before, when you tell somebody you are living Tonglewi, you're going to school in Ganta.
Very far because the road.
You're going to Ganta. It used to be odd, you know. You said, man, you living from Tonglewi, come to school here? Yeah, mommy, you are suffering, but this day, people live here, go to town, enjoy themselves, come back in the night.
You can imagine. It's quite a beautiful place, yeah.
And just ahead of us, there is this entertainment center that people call it after work. People can come from Ganta to come enjoy themselves and go back while people too for this particular community. Now, so, that as well.
We're in Gompa City already.
Yeah, we are
the city of men, eh?
Yeah, you're already the non-ever rest city.
Yeah.
Ahead of us, that building you are seeing there is the PYJ Polytechnic University.
Yeah, I know. I know the PYJ Polytechnic very well.
So you have the forest green or Turkish green in our left building.
Yeah.
With the cream, that's the after work. You know, yeah, that's the after work entertainment center there.
Don't forget, I've made my way into the late Senator Prince Johnson Polytechnic several times now.
Okay.
Even until when he was being laid to rest, I was amongst just fewer journalists who were allowed access into this place.
Okay.
And he was laid to rest somewhere in the back.
Yes, right before his official dwelling place where he used to be.
Yeah.
This place is the university, and at the back there is the radio station he constructed, the Fit FM.
Yeah.
But then when you enter here and go down, like you're saying, you go down, there where
I know. I've been in there.
It's official place.
I've been there, and that's where
I think maybe the family can make this area while the university is there. They also make this area a tourist area, and they'll make some money because almost every time people want to come and see where he was actually laid to rest, whether it is true he was laid to rest there, and if it is true how the place is looking, some people just want to go and take a photo, some people just want to go and have a glance of the area. Even his statue that was constructed right in the face of the Polytechnic, some people just want to go and stand around it and take photo.
Great.
Just recently, Women League team from San Nicolas, they went to Sacleapea for their playoff. When they were coming by, they had to make a stop here. The entire team had to go there and take photo. It was all placed when they were official.
That's nice. All right, so we're already in Ganta already. We're in Gompa.
Yeah, this is
the city of men. We are here along the LPRC area. I remember that's where the wakekeeping and funeral service of the fallen senator was held.
Yeah. And this is a guest house.
Yeah, I know that.
LPRC.
I know. It's been a long day of coverage today, folks. We were in Tapita today. And basically to bring you up to speed as to activities happening in there as it relates to the elections. And then also we thought to take a long road trip driving along the fast developing and almost completed Tapita to Sacleapea road project with fresh pavements on that road. My teammate Fabien Kuya, of course Daniel Gedeh, so abreast with the length and breadth of Nimba County here. Nimba County was with us today. Thank you, Daniel. You did quite an amazing job on the commentary. I'm sure you will get the biggest commendation later, probably from the boss or whatever. But this one is on me, man. It's on me.
Thank you so much. And we also say thanks to the chauffeur.
Mr. Stewart. Yeah, he's quite a good driver. So, guys, we're driving through the streets now of Ganta City. These pavements have been here for quite quite a while now. But then this is also part of the Ganta to Sacleapea project, because this started from somewhere around the turning point there, somewhere in central Ganta, because I know this entire route used to be very dusty. Yes, I remember coming here for the groundbreaking ceremony somewhere ahead of us there in 2020 December, when the government of Liberia broke ground for this road. I was here. So this is also part. Whatever. The commenters can be very hilarious. Okay, but Daniel was speaking about somewhere I've went, and I'm too sure he was trying to. Anyway, it's fine. No need. You're right. Thank you. You win. His name is Batom, and Daniel
and Anthony, for the issue of economic development, for the issue of the road connectivity bringing some improvement in the economic aspect. Like we said before
breaking was here. Groundbreaking ceremony for this project was held right here. I remember we were here. We came to break ground for this project somewhere right here. At the time. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead before baton comes for me again.
Since this road was paved, people have decided now to build shops, stores, entertainment centers, and it is now also helping to decongest the main street of Ganta. But unlike before, the main street of Ganta was actually congested. Almost all the economic activities was taking place on that side, but now people are now gradually trooping on the side to also make sure that this particular end of the city also receive everything. And this is the Amadia clinic. And you know, almost all the time you see people coming in, erecting new buildings. Some are renovating and you know, also carry on major activities just to ensure that they have a balanced economic activities to this end of Ganta as well.
Yes, definitely. I wonder Batom Kula knows you are also working for ELBC. The way he calls you the other fellow, he calls me ELBC journalist. Quite hilarious, trust me.
No problem. Maybe.
It's very interesting. So yes, we are in Ganta City itself. So before we end this video, Daniel, probably I have to flip the camera. So before we end this video, for those of you watching, we want to remind you that we are here in Nimba to provide coverage for the elections, and we were in Tapita where we showed you the activities as the NEC is deploying the election material. First thing tomorrow is election day. The senatorial by-election to replace fallen Senator Prince Wyatt Johnson begins first thing tomorrow morning. And so Daniel will be bringing you details. Our entire team will be bringing you all of the necessary details you will need. Our correspondents are posted in across various parts of the county. Our team is here in Ganta. We'll be in Sacleapea, we'll be in Sacleapea. We'll be here in Ganta to be bringing you all of the details as it relates to the elections. Up to Wednesday up to Thursday, we might be here to be bringing you, we will be here in fact to be bringing you all of the details as it relates to the Nimba County senatorial by-election. Today has been a long day. We've been bringing you coverage of road connectivity across Nimba, at least for where we visited today, Tapita up to Sacleapea, and then from Sacleapea now to Ganta. We're here in Ganta City. We are hoping to show you just the brief 15-minute drive that goes to Sacleapea. You know, it's just very easy. We might do that. We are expected to go that route. But we like to say, yes, Daniel, you can.
I think you just flip the camera now.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, it has actually been a very amazing one to see the fresh road. And it shows that development activities is taking place across all parts of Liberia, not just in one area. Because if you leave from that place and go ahead, you also notice that development activities is also ongoing in the in other parts of Liberia.